Hello, my name is Big Niklas and I'm an artist. And welcome to this YouTube video. It's a very meaningful YouTube video for me because I'm standing right here in Sieger Gallery in my first solo exhibition. And in this video, I want to give you a tour through the exhibition. And why do I want to give you a tour? There are a couple of reasons. The main reason is because, as I said, it's in Ubud, it's in Bali. Not many people that I know, but also in general, won't be able to attend the exhibition in person. And based on the feedback that I received at the vernissage, the opening event, I have this inner desire and also finally also this confidence to say I want to share this exhibition and my art with the world, because I have the feeling the world deserves to see this, and based on the work and the dedication I put into this, I want to share it with the world. And the name of the exhibition, and first of all I want to explain the name and the concept and idea behind the exhibition. It's called Dating Art, an Artistic Self-Odyssey. And maybe you already can guess based on the name Dating Art, what does this mean? For me it means that I put my relationship with art into the context of a man dating a woman, because this is literally how it felt for me the last 4 years, from starting to paint to the moment right now. So this exhibition explains basically my story from 4 years ago of meeting art to right now being at the point where this exhibition represents my proposal to art to be in a relationship together. Because it represents the moment where I say I'm an artist. I allow myself to say that I'm an artist and I want to go deeper with this. I see like a purpose and meaning in art for me, and this exhibition represents this moment of saying, art, let's go deeper with it. And also I realized over the last 4 years of painting, when I reflected back on it, this was this story, like a hero story for me. Like this, that's why in the name it says Odyssey. It's an up and down hero story for me. You will also see in the story of the painting, it was like an up and down journey to finally come to this moment of realizing a big part of my authentic truth. And this is also what you can maybe take away from this exhibition and the art pieces, to be authentic, to find your truth and come back to your truth. Because I also feel like the reason why I share so openly and vulnerably about the story is because I'm inspired by other art and what I can take away from other art from me. And I also hope that people can learn something for themselves from these art pieces. This isn't just about me saying, hey, this is my story, please listen, but this is also, I would love to see that people could take away something for their own journey. And yeah, I think the concept should be clear. It's me dating art, getting to know art, to right now be in a relationship. Yeah, one more thing or two more things. I also realized that my personal growth, because it's also a journey about my personal growth, is very connected to my artistic growth. The more I was able to grow my personality, the more I was able to express myself authentically and differently and authentically in art. You will also see like this in the whole journey and story. And also what makes this exhibition special for me, as I said, it's a story. I'm very inspired by music albums. The way I listen to music is I listen in albums. So I love listening to a story from beginning to an end. So all of these art pieces, that's not like random art pieces on the wall. It's like a story from one to the last 11th art piece. And they are all connected to each other and make sense, at least for me. And I also want to share this with you. And yeah, without further ado, let's start with the first art piece, which you see over there. And all right, so I'm standing right in front of the first art piece of the story. It's called Alchemy of Love Concert. And the name already tells it in part. It was a concert that I was attending actually nearly exactly 4 years ago here in Bali, but it wasn't like a normal concert of like singing with like normal songs. It's hard to explain, that's why also I painted it. And it represents this moment of me getting this touch of art for the first time. Because after the day of the concert, I had suddenly this intuition of, oh, I want to paint. But only like 2 years after the concert, I connected me doing art to this concert. And this concert, based on what the singer of this concert said, was about love, about meeting love and getting in touch with love. And for me, I met art. Art represents my love, and I try to like capture what I felt inside. It's really hard, but that's why I painted it. You see like a flame igniting, a seed is growing, there are sounds within me, butterflies, like all those feelings that I cannot put in words. Like it was tremendous experience. You can also see here the singer, sounds touching my ear, the instruments of the concert, and also like the symbol of an ankh. I won't explain the symbol in detail right now, but you also see sun rays touching me. Like a lot is going on. It was like a huge experience, like this moment of remembering, oh, I am an artist. And you also see down here, this is a friend of mine who actually met his now wife at the concert. So he met his wife, I met art, which is my love right now, at least in the stage of my life. And maybe you can also think about moments in your life that, like you see the ripple effect, butterfly effect, however you want to call it, that touch something in you and change the whole direction of your life. Because if I wouldn't have attended this concert, I don't know if I would have painted, because I didn't paint before in my life, as a child of course, but this is the moment that represents the start of the first meeting with art. Let's say like this, the first touch point. All right, let's go to the next painting. Now we're standing in front of the second painting. It's called First Date. Also kind of an obvious title, but it represents the moment when I first painted. Between this art piece, the concert, and this painting, this moment of the painting, of me painting for the first time, were like 3 to 4 weeks. I had this thought in my mind, I want to paint, but I was so hesitant. I was resisting. I was like, I cannot paint. What should I paint? Why should I paint? Doesn't make sense. But this sound, this voice in my head was continuously talking to me. The concert, the echo of the concert was in my ear. You can also see this here of the sound still entering my ear. And when I finally overcame myself, and this is actually the first painting I ever painted, I repainted it in this painting. So it's a, how you say, painting inception. And you see myself finally being proud and showing the art piece to a woman. And also often in my art pieces, or in this exhibition, the woman and the art pieces represent the feminine, represent art. And so I show my art piece basically to art, and art is looking at it with the sun rays, and it's kind of like a déjà vu. Also during painting this art piece, I was listening to Post Malone, Déjà Vu, a lot. It kind of felt very resonant, but you also see I have doubts represented by this question mark. Can I really do this? But I was like, let's try it, let's do it. And I was showing this art piece to art itself, and you can also see this flame of passion igniting. It's also a very energetic art piece, very colorful, very bright. This represents this moment of painting for the first time and basically having my first date with art. And maybe you can also think about your moment where you finally overcame yourself and did something that you wanted to do for a long time, overcame yourself and finally showed it to the world and made like a first important step. Because also, if I wouldn't have painted for the first time, who knows how this would develop. So I'm also very grateful that I overcame myself and did this first art piece. And let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is the next art piece. It's called Wrong Direction, Bro. Maybe like a funny name, but also very truthful, because the first two art pieces, as you saw, were like more like getting to know art, very energetic, very positive, and you see it, like the mood starts to change. Because after this phase of getting to know art for the first time, doing the first painting, I actually distanced myself. I went like a path that wasn't truthful to me. And this is represented by me. I'm looking away from art, and art is not pointing in the direction you need to go there, but it's not like touching me, trying to touch me, that I don't go into this direction. Because you see, maybe there's like a clown's mask representing this false strategies, like this shadow creature up here talking to me, and I'm listening to it, and the world, my reality, starts to get more dark. I was still painting every now and then. You see like a small painting down here, but it wasn't very present. And you can also see in my heart, there's only a small light, and there's like more like darkness growing, representing this untruthful reality. But over here, the woman again representing art. This could be the reality I could have with art, when doing art, but I'm deciding to look in the wrong direction. And over here you can also see symbols from the first painting, like the butterflies, the seed, this like a big flame, very energetic, and here you can also see that the woman is crying because she's sad. I'm distancing myself from her, even though we could have this beautiful relationship, this beautiful time and reality together, which could be so bright and colorful, but I'm deciding to not live this direction or live this reality with art. So you can also maybe think about, where are you going in the wrong direction, bro? Like, where can you think, oh, this might be not truthful, and how could reality look if you would follow more the truth, your authentic truth? And this is how, yeah, this art, and also like your truth is always calling you. This is also what this art piece represents. It's always trying to get you, even though if you're looking in the wrong direction, bro. Like, she's trying to guide you. And this is like what this art piece represents to me. Very meaningful, very beautiful from my perspective. All right, and this is the following art piece, which represents kind of this peak of not living my truth, of shadow strategies. It's called Spiritual Circus, Spotify Playlist Shaman. Like a very long, maybe confusing name, but in the end, like Spiritual Circus. Why Spiritual Circus? Because I was getting into this spirituality, but from my perspective, this fake spirituality, this, oh, everything is easy, I just meditate and life is easy and just do whatever I want because I'm spiritual, everything is love, like this kind of like illusionism from my perspective. But this was very untruthful, very unecological, very unhealthy. And you see, maybe you know this meme, this dog sitting on the chair, and this is fine meme of the dog sitting in the flames. This is how it felt here. You see this flame is around me. I'm trying to laugh and ignore it, but you see I have this mask also on representing this lies that I tell to myself. I'm trying to laugh, but I'm also crying because I wasn't happy inside. There was darkness inside. There wasn't fulfillment, there was darkness. But still also what I want to mention, still some light. I never lost it completely. And you can also again see the shadow trying to touch me and influence me, and I'm actually listening to it. And also one key aspect of this painting is you see this woman representing art, representing life. She's crying. She's crying on the earth because of the damage I did to life. I was not honoring and respecting life. I was damaging it. And this is like this sadness. This represents like what the pain you create in the world by not being truthful, by lying, by betraying. And this is like a very vulnerable and meaningful art piece for me. And the rest you can use your own interpretation what this should mean. But yeah, very, very powerful art piece for me. All right, next one. It's called Can You Feel the Light Inside? Can You Feel That Fire? It's actually a song lyric from Tyler, the Creator, from his latest album, Chromacopia, from the first song, Chroma. I listened to the song a lot. I can also highly recommend it to you, very good song. And this art piece, you see after the last art piece was this peak of lie, of not being authentic, not truthful. This represents this moment of breakthrough, of breaking through those lies, because you see, death is talking to me. And what this represents to me, like I suddenly had this voice of like a specific situation that I like actually betrayed a friend. Like it was very, also right now thinking about it, very painful that what I've done in terms to my friend, and I had this voice in my head saying, you have to tell him, you have to tell him. Like I wasn't able to not hear it anymore. And this represents death, but death is not negative in this moment. It's supporting me, because to tell this truth, some part of me needed to die. And actually this is also represented here, that I have, you see my face, like this realization. And the sun, the light, death is talking with light. My eyes are shining with this realization that I'm actually talking literally to my friend. This is also a portrait of my friend. And if you would look closely, you see also a tears running down his cheek because of the sadness he feels for what I've done. But while feeling this pain and sadness, there's also this explosion, the light inside. Can you feel the light inside of truthful? Like before, you also saw in my paintings this darkness in my heart. And here, there's light suddenly. Also the mask, the clown's mask, is falling apart. My face, my real face is visible again. And the clown's mask is falling apart, representing this lies falling apart. And this dove because my friend afterwards, we're still friends, we're friends again. Like we had this journey of, let's say, keep it short, I received a second chance, which I'm infinitely grateful for. And he said after this moment, it felt like my soul was breathing again. This dove is flying in terms of this lightness, the brightness, and also you see like a small shadow down here, which you saw in the second two paintings before as well. But this shadow right now, because the light is shining in his face, it's not receiving the attention anymore, because I'm started to dedicate myself to new, to truthful light strategies. And this just this moment of, I don't know if you had this breakthrough moment. It's this moment of telling this truth, but it represented so much more for me than just a simple act. It was like a whole breakthrough and change in my strategies, a start of new authenticity, of new truth in my life that I allowed to myself. And I don't know if you had this moment as well in your life, this breakthrough, very meaningful painting for me. And I think that's it, what I want to share about this. You can interpret the rest for yourself, but yeah, as I said, I probably say this with every painting is meaningful and deep for me. So let's move on. And I mentioned that I'm inspired by music, by albums, and maybe you know, for example, in some Kendrick Lamar albums or different albums, there are like this interludes, this kind of this breaks between two songs. It's not a song, it's something different, and this is what this painting represents to me. It's called Temperantia. I don't know, it's based on the arcana, major arcana, tarot card, temperance. I don't know, don't ask me why I made this Spanish pronunciation on it, just felt like this. And this because this moment was like this breakthrough of depth and new strategies, and this represents a moment of breathing, arriving, also represented by this, let's say, the sand clock. I don't know if you say it like this, arriving in the present moment. And I think this is everything I want to share about this, because yeah, it represents this break, this breathing in and out, arriving in the present moment, and reflecting what comes next. And you also see the seed growing. Again, a seed you see often used in my paintings of something new is growing. And yeah, this is what this represents for me. And then we have this painting. It's more one of the older ones. It was created before all of the other paintings actually. And it's called Initialisierung. A very like a tongue breaker, we say in German. Also, don't ask me why I chose this name. It just came up intuitively. And what it represents, you see myself, I'm being open. It's this continuation of this process, because the alchemical death, the can you feel the light inside moment, wasn't like I reached a destination. Everything here also doesn't mean that I reached enlightenment or whatever. It's just about sharing my journey, and this represents the time of myself being more open again and still facing my shadows. But I'm open, I'm not resisting anymore. And you see this also, the butterfly is landing on my nose, showing that nature is supporting, life is supporting me. The symbol of the butterfly, a very beautiful symbol for me. And also, yeah, some symbols up here I won't explain in detail, of the light shining on my Stirn in German. How's it called? Forehead, my forehead. And burning away more shadows. And also what I have here, you see I have this colorful marks on my body. I always have this actually right now here, also from painting yesterday. And this represents just my connection to art, my connection to my authenticity, having these paintings in here. And also you see life, nature is growing again in my life after this intense times of shadows, for example. And a rose growing, like nature is blossoming more and more again. And yeah, this is like from this phase of darkness to breakthrough. It's a phase of continuation of working on myself and establishing these new strategies by continuing to overcome old strategies. I hope this makes sense. And yeah, let's go to the next painting. So this painting is called Loving Fire. And the main meaning for this is to be fine with constant change. The constant burning away of something that isn't aligned, isn't truthful anymore. Maybe you also know those moments where it feels too much, like everything is changing, you just feel like overwhelmed. But I was able more and more, also I haven't achieved it fully, don't want to say it like this, but I was able to come more in peace with this change, also represented by this contrast of me being this blue creature around this fire, being in peace and calmness in this fire. And you see those two let's say, old phases of me. They were connected, but the fire is burning them away. So this means like also old parts of me are burning away. And I was able to be more in peace. And you also see I'm open, I'm kneeling openly. Also kneeling means I'm more humble. And you see like this Egyptian goddess, Sekhmet. My grandma actually said it looks more like a mouse. It should be a lioness. Excuse me if I wasn't able to paint it more correctly, but it doesn't matter. The meaning stays the same. I won't explain this meaning of her more deeply, but this, painting just means this, being in more peace with this constant change, with the fire around. Also loving fire, because it's for you, it comes out of love, it's not against you. Also very, very important for me, and maybe also relatable for others, as I said before. Okay, let's go on. This art piece is called Cut It. Why cut it? Because it represents cutting the umbilical cord, like this is the connection that you have when you're being born, to your mother. And in this art piece I'm exploring the topic of maturity, because also from my perspective, to have a healthy relationship with a woman, in my case it's art, dating art, you also need to have a relationship, healthy relationship with your mother. And what I realized in this phase was that I painted myself as this adult, without my beard, but still adult face, but baby body, representing this, like I'm from the age, I'm 23, 24, I was 23, 24, 25, but still behaving partly like a baby and being dependent on my mother, subconsciously even. And yeah, as I said, I contemplated about those strategies, and this painting represents this, also breaking through and becoming more mature. I have this knife around here, it also has some small hearts in it, where I cut through this unhealthy connection. It doesn't mean that I am not connected with my mother or like the feminine anymore. It just represents this unhealthy cut of these unhealthy strategies. And it's very energetic, like life is happening again. You can also see here the feminine representing like just the archetype of the mother. It's not my mother. It's also like she receives more flowers, meaning more life is coming. She has a new life. She doesn't need to care about this baby, about me anymore, but she can also have a new life. And here you see it was a hand. That's also very funny, because I painted this hand. I think it looked shit, so I overpainted it. And then I realized, oh, I didn't use the right color. It looks like this hand is disappearing. So I decided to not paint it again, but see this as, oh, the care, like touching my hand, oh, my little baby, it's also disappearing, it's going away, and she's also releasing this care that she needs to take for me. And you see from my heart, there's coming this rose representing the gratitude that I have for mother, for my mother, for the mothers in general, for feminine, for women. And also like after this, and also in this period, my relationship with my parents and my mother specifically became way more beautiful. Like I'm very grateful for the very harmonious relationship we have now. But also still working on becoming more mature. But this represents this whole process. I hope it makes sense. All right. Then the second last painting, the next interlude. You remember Temperentia? This is the moon, based on the moon arcana. And this basically represents a couple of things. It's also this interlude, this transition to the next phase. And you know, moon is in the night, and what comes after the night is day, is a new phase. A new day is coming afterwards. We will see in the next painting. And this represents also this, seeing the light in the darkness, still trusting, even though it might be dark at times. And the feathers representing the sensitivity that you have, because if it's dark, you cannot see, but your other senses are more activated. And I think I will keep it with that. Again, an interlude and a transition to the new phase. The last and final, and for me very one of my favorites. It's the last one I painted. The last one is mostly a favorite, but I will show you right now. And you see, it's called Proposal, Yes, No, Maybe. Why is it called Yes, No, Maybe in its name? Why is it in its name? Because like I propose to art, like I dedicate myself, but art, the woman is not forced to say yes. I cannot force her. It's also her free decision. And I came into this exhibition of being like open do I want to continue art? Do I receive signs? Like, I can already take it away. Like, I received many signs for me that art wants to continue this journey with me. And yeah, so what you see right here is I'm kneeling to art. I'm not proposing with a ring because it's not about marriage, it's about relationships. Still, I wanted to kneel and offering these flowers to the feminine as a gratitude and honoring for what I've received from art, because from art I learned so much about me, about life. I'm discovering myself, like this whole journey that you just saw. I'm so grateful for art, what art offers for me. And you see right here I have two heads. The one head is confident, looking into art's eyes, and the second one is humble, bowing my head, showing that I'm humble, that I'm grateful. And yeah, art is represented again by the feminine, and art has those huge wings, meaning I can fly with art. And you see me having those small wings because I see still myself, like so much room for improvement, for growth, but still I feel ready to, let's say, to fly with art. And this is represented by the wings. And yeah, before the moon, the darkness, now we have the sun kind of also blessing us. Sun also represents this purity and life energy for me. And yeah, the rays are all over the painting, very energetic and very, for me, powerful and vibrant art piece. And yeah, this is basically the moment of the exhibition and the start of a new phase, because right now I get to see what comes next, how I can develop my relationship with art, how I can honor art even more to be in a relationship. And this is, yeah, what comes now. And yeah, this was the first solo exhibition of me called Dating Art, an Artistic Self-Odyssey. And what I would love to hear, like what I also loved about the exhibition opening event was connecting with people, talking about the art pieces, because if you look at the art piece, you see something different than what I painted. And when people share, oh, I see this, oh, this means this for me, I receive also new things about my art, I learn new things about my art pieces. So I would be genuinely curious and would invite you to leave a comment. What do you think about the art pieces? Have you received value from it? What did you maybe learn about yourself? Were you able to learn about yourself? Were you able to receive inspiration? Because that's also one of the reasons why I share so openly and deeply about all of these art pieces, because I receive so much when other artists show themselves vulnerable and open, and I can learn from this, and that's why I want to do the same. And yeah, also one more thing about this, what you can take away from this, or what this could mean, is where do you want to say yes to life, to something, to a person, to a hobby, to a passion, to, I don't know, your profession, whatever. Where do you want to say yes in life and take a next step of dedication and commitment? Because this is what this feels for me. And yeah, let's see. There will also be other videos on this channel about the exhibition. You can, I hope they're already out when this comes out, but I'm pretty sure they are. So feel free to check them out. Also, what I always want to say is there are links in the, check out the bio, leave a follow, put on the, how's it called, announcement bell. In German we say Glocke. I don't know, like all those YouTubers say always. So yeah, make sure, I would also love to receive a comment, as I said, like the video, whatever, I'm repeating myself. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.